Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Hello, everyone. It's Monday, October 26th. I'm Tori, here with Erica, and the beautiful Stephanie Jones joins us from home. Hello, Stephanie.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, happy Monday, ladies.
Happy Monday. It's a ladies' kind of day, and let's bring out another lady right now, Adele. Not that she's here in the screen. Adele brought in big ratings on her Saturday Night Live hosting debut. She poked fun at her dramatic weight loss in the opening monologue. Take a look.
And I know I look really, really different since you last saw me, but actually, because of all the COVID restrictions and the travel bans, I had to travel light and only bring half of me, and this is the half that I chose.
Great. Although Adele wasn't the musical guest, she snuck in a few of her hits during a sketch about The Bachelor, where she played herself. It was really meta. Take a look.
Hi, can I steal him for a sec?
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever. It's a turnout out of the blue, uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it.
It was funny because then they're like, all right, enough, Adele. Adele did receive some backlash over a skit that encouraged white middle-aged women to visit Africa for sex tourism. But she also couldn't get through most of it without cracking up. Take a look.
The pounding.
The fanning yourself with a palm between rounds.
I found.
Okay, what do we think about Adele? Steph, she is like a goddess for the Brits. What do you think about the whole situation and how she did?
Okay, I think in terms of hosting, I think she did a phenomenal job. I think, you know, she's an incredible actress. I've mentioned last week on the show when she was on Graham Norton, a British television show. She's fantastic. I love that she poked fun of herself. What I didn't like was the whole Africa skit. I think, like, so many people were terribly offended. It's not the first time we've seen Adele have people, you know, saying she's been very culturally inappropriate, let's be honest, you know, and I think she doesn't do it intentionally, but I think she should know better, and I think the producer should have known better. And yeah, it made me feel uncomfortable. And I do love Adele, but just because it's Adele, that doesn't mean it's an excuse for it to be okay. We can't make one rule for one person, another rule for another, just because it's Adele. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think you're speaking of the Bantu knots.
It was really inappropriate.
Right, and you're referring
It was
back,
inappropriate.
yeah, to the Bantu knots. I think remember when she wore it at fair, and people were saying that's some cultural appropriation. Erica, what did you think about that?
Well, you know, I mean, Adele's tremendously talented, and I was surprised that given the backlash about the Bantu knots, although people, you know, there were both sides. Some people felt like it was cultural appropriation. People who have actually attended Carnival were saying that it's appreciation. And I felt like it was fair for both sides to voice their opinion. I think that's what we get about controversy. You know, controversy evokes some serious and important discussion. But it was a little shocking that that line would be ridden on Saturday Night Live after all of that.
Right.
And I'm just surprised.
Yeah, I hear you as well. I gotta be honest, I was all for Adele hosting like you, Steph, and I thought she was good. But when she sang in that dang Bachelor, I was like, no, I wanted to see her sing. Like, it almost reinforced how much I wish she had been the musical guest. Even though I was like,
but
no,
we
she's
got
gonna
a little
kill.
snippet.
I know. I didn't think she was I wanted her to be a little more wild, but I think she's a nervous person, and she said she was too nervous to do both, so I get it. But
well, that transparency was pretty awesome.
I love that. She's always been stage fright. She's always said that, and she's been very open. So interesting combo on that. I was thinking the same as you two, like, why do that sketch? Well, Prince Harry reveals that growing up royal meant he really had no understanding of his own racial unconscious bias. Talk about transparency. Harry says Meghan opened his eyes to the fact that we all have racial biases towards certain groups of people. Harry talked about his own awakening while interviewing a Black Lives Matter activist for GQ magazine. Have a look.
And unconscious bias, from my understanding, you know, having had the upbringing and the education that I had no idea that what it was. I had no idea it existed. And then, you know, sad as it is to say, it took me many, many years to realize it. especially than living a day or a week in my wife's shoes.
I mean, that is groundbreaking for a royal to speak about this, because they are so known to have these sort of tough upper lips, stiff upper lips, not speak about stuff like that. Steph, what did you take from that?
Oh, I think he's being beautifully honest, and I think, you know, it's something that I mean, I've learned so much by moving to America. I've learned the cultures, the lifestyle is so completely different, and obviously I have not been blessed to have the upbringing and an education that Prince Harry definitely has, but I love his honesty, and I love him saying, you know, since he's met Meghan, it's opened his eyes, he's had to address and face those things, and he actually made a statement saying, if there are times where you feel uncomfortable and you're put in a situation where you maybe don't know the answer, or you're questioning on your beliefs or your upbringing or thoughts, they're the times in which you have to really, you know, you have to investigate for yourself. You have to be prepared to ask the uncomfortable questions and feel a bit vulnerable and not know the answer and not know what the right thing is, so that you can learn and educate yourself. That's the only way we're going to get better as human beings. So I'm proud of him that he said this, and I think it's very honest and very fair, and I hope it leads by example, and other people, you know, being ignorant in these days is no longer, it's not acceptable.
Right.
It's not an option.
Right. Even for a royal.
He's being honest.
Right, even for a royal. Like, Erica, I can't tell you how crazy this is to hear that. I remember Princess Diana started dating Dodi Al-Fayed, and he was Arab, and it was the biggest no-no of the world. Then Meghan came and really pushed this whole monarchy. What do you think?
Well, I think that we could take it out of the monarchy and just apply it to our everyday lives, you know, us normal people. You know, I think that diversity is such a beautiful thing, and that used to be something that was supposed to be celebrated in this country. And what is happening at this point is that we want the celebration to be very authentic and respectful to each culture appropriately, but that also means the sharing of ideas and experiences. And for someone like Prince Harry to come forward and say, look, I didn't know what I didn't know until I knew, based on the fact that he's married to someone who is biracial, is very important, because it's going to allow someone else to say, I didn't know what I didn't know, you know, and now I know. And if people are willing to be in that space and acknowledge that there are things that they can get greater understanding of, I mean, my husband is Icelandic, Italian from Canada, okay? We have very different upbringings, and we have very different things that we've experienced in the world. But, you know, every day there's something that I learned from him. There's something that he learns from me. I talk about, like, you know, one time I went to work and it was like 8 hours. I came home and he had watched every single Black Lives Matter on Netflix, and he was explaining to me the history of Black people in this country. And I was like, okay, we can have a conversation, but first of all, can I walk in the door?
Put my bag down.
You know,
put my bag down.
Yeah, and you know, so I think that it's important that people show interest in what's happening in other people's lives and experiences.
I do too. And just remember, whatever bubble you're in, it doesn't have to be a black-white issue. I was in a Jewish bubble. Everyone I thought in the whole wide world was Jewish. I swear to God, because I grew up in that. I didn't know. So it's not always a black and white. It's cultural. It's more nuanced. So think of your own bubble and what you can gain from popping it. Ooh. Huh? Okay. All right. Tia Mowry isn't afraid to show off her blonde or her gray locks. The Sister star recently posted her new blonde hair and bangs on Instagram, but check out this hair transformation. Tia has also been rocking the natural gray hair look. She told the Today Show that while she likes having fun with her hair, she prefers being herself, and said she posted her gray hair pics to show people she's all about authenticity. Everyone I know who I Zoom with can't go get their hair done, so they all are letting the gray come out. Is it cool to just come out with the gray? I think she looks rad. Gray, lavender hair.
I love that she's doing this.
What do you think?
I think that we have gone such a dramatic shift, and we were heading this way anyway, even before quarantine, but I think that quarantine heightened the idea of,
like, authenticity,
hey,
almost.
Let's be good with what we look like when we wake up. You know, like, there's been this thing, like, change everything, manipulate this, and, you know, that's all fine and great, and I love, you know, trying new things, and I wouldn't discourage or talk down anyone who decided to do that, but I think that we had completely forgotten about, like, hey, this is just like who I am.
Yeah, especially letting the hair out. That's a big deal to go gray. And it looks, I think, fantastic. Steph, would you let yourself go gray?
Oh yeah, no, I think not until I'm a bit older, but I really want to rock a really really like chic lavender grey, long. I want straight long hair. I'll probably be like that 90-year-old that's like, I want it poker straight with like probably like some, you know, I don't want the like, you know, like the granny one that's all curly. No, I want to have like really long hair. If my hair will permit it, it'll probably be fake. I might have to wear a wig, I don't know. I mean, let's be honest, half my hair isn't mine now anyway, so I don't know what it's going to be like when I'm 90. But I'm here for it. I love it. I think she looks beautiful. I love grey hair. I think it's so classy.
I do too.
You know, it's beautiful.
And I really liked like the Keanu Reeves dating that woman. Remember, she had the grey hair.
Yeah.
And it's all just become kind of a fad, and I'm here for it.
I'm hoping that I keep a curl when my hair turns gray, because I would love to have gray, curly hair.
Chills.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, you'd kill. I would look terrible, but I'd still rock it. Stephanie, stick around. Coming up on DBL, former Real Housewife of Atlanta star Kim Zolciak-Biermann. Will she return to the reality show that made her famous? Plus, celebrities are using their voice to amplify the power of the people. But do they really have that much influence on voting? And as we go to break, we thank our coworkers working from home during this pandemic. We love you guys. We miss you. Good work on you. We'll be right back. Close. DBL. With only 8 days to go until the election, we can do it, people. Stars are pulling out all the stops to get out the vote. Selena Gomez reached out to her 180 million Instagram followers. I have 2, just kidding, by posting a casual chat with actor Timothée Chalamet, who was waiting in line to vote in New York City. I love that. Jennifer Aniston posted by voting a box in LA, saying she cast her ballot for Joe Biden. She also encouraged people to vote responsibly, adding, "It's not funny to vote for Kanye West, who was on the ballot in 12 states." And her ex-husband, Brad Pitt, lent his voice to a Joe Biden campaign ad that played during Saturday night's Game 4 of the World Series. Let's take a look.
America is a place for everyone. Those who chose this country, those who fought for it. Some Republicans, some Democrats, and most just somewhere in between.
I have a theory on this. What do you think of partisan celebrities encouraging people to vote, Steph? What do you think of like Jennifer Aniston being like, I'm voting for Joe Biden and don't vote for Kanye? Does that lose her fans?
You know what? I think in every single situation, it depends on the celebrity and the type of influence in which they have in general. So, for instance, people are extremely likely to listen and take very seriously the likes of Oprah, George and Amal Clooney, because of their activism, their charity work, and what they stand for as celebrities. Whereas I feel like when it's Kanye West, people are more likely to make fun of it and not listen to what he's saying. So I think it literally depends on the celebrity and like how they live their lifestyle and how they portray themselves to the media and how we digest them as consumers. It's very case by case, but at the end of the day, they've got huge followings and their fans are dedicated. I mean, look at Taylor Swift and her fans.
Amen.
They will live and breathe everything that she says, and people take what they say very seriously, and they're in influential positions for a reason.
Yeah, I do have to say, quickly, when you have a celebrity voiceover on an ad, sometimes subliminally it works even better. Like when Sam Elliott did the one, it was like, I'm American. That sometimes works really well, like the Brad Pitt ones. Okay, sorry, we're gonna move on. In other celebrity election news on Sunday, most of the cast of Happy Days reunited to raise money for Wisconsin Democrats. Mrs. C, Marion Ross, had to bow out due to illness, but Richie, Ralph Malph, Patsy, and the Fonz reunited for a virtual table read. Have a look.
Okay, good luck, Fonz. I gotta go. Hold it. The Fonz is about to play a new machine. Who walks out on that?
I gotta get home. My mom's waiting.
Hey, look, I don't want to hear any more about this family obligation stuff. I get enough of that at home.
Really? From who?
My grandmother.
Okay, so Scott Baio was not there due to, he is not a Democrat, obviously. What do you think about that? Did that move you to vote?
I think this may have moved them to do that, Scott Baio, because he has come out in a tremendous amount of support for President Trump. And I think that anytime there's someone that's connected with you in the way that the Happy Days cast is, that is being so forward politically, then the rest of them hear about it. And I think that this might have just been a reaction to that.
That's so interesting that instead of it, that they turned on that and made that the catalyst for this entire thing. Baio, who knew the power you had? Coming up on DBL, will Kim Zolciak-Biermann ever be a Real Housewife again? Erica, thank gosh, gets to the bottom of it. Coming up next.
If you have
Yeah. Buenos. Welcome back to DBL. Kim Zolciak-Biermann is a mom, mogul, and reality star, and we got to get all the tea about her former Atlanta housewife cast members and more. Y'all know I am a huge Bravo celebrity. No, I'm a Bravo-holic. So we catch up with her in today's Chatting with the Stars. Girl, I am so excited that you're here. We're going to talk all about season 8. Don't be tardy. We're going to talk about the cosmetic line, your swimwear line. But first, I need a little bit of Real Housewives tea. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to pour my tea into my red Solo cup because I brought it for the occasion.
Me too. Me too. Let's go. I'm ready.
Cheers, girl. Okay, so the news heard around the world. Nene Leakes, your former bestie and former Real Housewives of Atlanta castmate, is not returning to Bravo. And she went out and burned all the bridges because apparently she also had a falling out with Bravo's Andy Cohen. Have you spoken to Nene?
I have not spoken to her. I did send her a message and you know, wish her well. So just a couple texts back and forth, but I've not actually spoken to her, no.
So are you guys just lukewarm where you're actually communicating a little bit, or you feel like that door is open, or are you just not friends anymore and you're actually just being a good person and reaching out to her?
I'm always a good person, but no, I mean, I think the door is always open. Like it's been a couple years that we've actually been getting along, and so I mean, the door is definitely open. There's no real animosity between her and I anymore. That's long gone, I feel like.
That's awesome. So what people really want to know is, what would it take to get you back on the show?
There's not enough money, honey, for me to go back to the show. Period. I do think that if they were to bring back season 1 cast, I think it would be fun and change it up a little bit to kind of see where everybody is. And I have really great memories of Housewives of Atlanta. It's kind of like out with your girlfriends and getting paid for it.
Your former castmate Cynthia Bailey recently got married as well. Do you have any words of advice for her?
Just lots of sex. That's really great for marriage. It really helps all situations, whether you're happy, you're sad, you're mad, you're frustrated, lots of sex.
Now let's get to season 8 for Don't Be Tardy, because you guys decided to spend the first 6 weeks in an RV.
We need to make this summer best one yet. We can do this.
What was the best and worst part of this trip?
I think the best part was creating memories with my family. It's something that I've always really wanted to do. I originally wanted to do just 2 weeks, and then Bravo ran with it, and we went almost 6 straight weeks. I think the worst part of the whole thing was the whole thing. I mean, the RV, 9 people, the shower so small, 1 toilet, 4 boys, all in all, I was with my family, and that's what I love the most. So we made the best of it.
So Kim, although you're a working mom and you seem to have a lot going on, you've also managed to launch a cosmetics line and a swimwear line. What can we look forward to?
Well, thank you. I definitely, skincare, makeup, bathing suits are definitely 3 passions of mine. Just lots of fun, exciting things going on, especially for the holidays.
Oh, this has been the highlight of my week. DBL Nation, make sure that you check out season 8 of Don't Be Tardy, Tuesday nights on Bravo. Thank you so much, Kim. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
At least
Welcome back to DBL. Today is a very special day for me. I want to wish my husband Brooks a very happy anniversary. This was 7 years ago. That was at our rehearsal dinner, and I will be honest with you, we blew that up and it's in our house, that picture, the last one. And my mom's like, why do you guys have a picture of yourself in your house? Is that weird, Steph? Do you think that's weird?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
Of course not. Blow it up, celebrate it, be proud.
Yeah.
You guys are an amazing couple.
Thanks.
I hope that you have like the most beautiful day, and I'm sure you're gonna have a very romantic evening.
We are.
Woo-hoo.
We're staying in
Ooh-la-la.
and doing a puzzle from Target.
Oh.
Huh? Sexy.
A puzzle by candlelight
Yes,
as it snows.
that's right, exactly. DBL, we're new every day. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Love you, baby.